So you're with Mark and Diane from Real Estate News and Views. And the stats are out, Mark.
Yeah, I heard they're positive for a change. How
They
exciting,
are. They
right?
are. They are.
It's good. I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. I mean, I expected flat or 1 or 2% off of last year's numbers, so it can be a bit more positive. I think GTA Toronto markets had a positive print as well, but we'll take it for what it is. I think there's just still some more uncertainty in the market and what's going on right now. But hey, you know what? A win's a win. So that's
That's
good.
yes. And I want to apologize in advance because you could probably hear my voice. I have been sick with this darn cold. So I'm a bit better today. Hopefully, I'm not going to cough or carry on in your face here.
Yeah, welcome to flu season.
Oh my gosh. I haven't had one in years and it's horrible. It's
Yeah,
like
I got some
awful.
clients the same way. They're not feeling well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, same way.
My
And
head feels like 200 pounds, you know? It's just like terrible.
yeah, makes it tough to do anything.
Concentrate.
Yeah, it does. It's tough, real tough. But yeah,
So this is for the city of Barrie market. That's what we're going to look at today, the numbers there. And I will share the spreadsheet if you want to give a shout out.
yeah. So like this information, like, subscribe, and get notified when we put out some content. And in the beginning of our descriptions, there's going to be two links, one for home sellers and one for home buyers. Check them out. Okay, let's take a look at this thing.
Okay. Well, you haven't seen it yet, so this is going to be a surprise to you and the viewers at the same time.
Yes.
Last year's sales in September were 173. This year 189. So we're
Okay.
up 8.5%.
Okay.
And that actually, the sales in August were 173 as well. So that's 8.5% over last month.
Okay.
The actives did not change. And I double checked three times because I thought I was making a mistake. We still have 976 active. Now, last year at this time, we had 827.
Right. And like there's still a fair bit of inventory, right? And they're still seeing, when I look at listings too, I look at them, I'm so, programmed to pull them up and see the history. And there's been a lot of new inventory that hasn't been listed before. Even with the 8% pop in sales, there's still people listing, right?
Well, Mark, you know a thing to I think that's kind of important to note. So March, our inventory was up 34%, right? Then in April, it went down 25%. But then we went back up to 28, then 29. But now we've had 3 months in a row of steady declines. Like at the beginning of the year, it was up, it was down, it was up, it was down. So now it's gone 20, 29, then 27%, then 21%. Now we're down to 15% more inventory than last year.
Yeah, but again, if we had an 8%, excuse me, an 8% pop in sales, right, for September. So the inventory is naturally going to go down, but then, it did drop. It didn't drop 8% or 8.5%. It dropped what? 7%, seven and a bit. So let's just say it's, you know, whatever. It's close, but it's still we've seen an increase in listings of say 1.5%, 2% in new listings.
which which last year in September we saw a huge increase
Well, yeah,
for
for
the
sure.
fall market.
Correct. The fall market.
We
We did
didn't
a spring one. So let's kind of see, you know what I mean? When we look at these numbers, you know what I mean, in transactions from, there's a lot we missed the spring market for this year in a sense. Very dismal results. August up, September up. That's 2 months in a row. I'll give that a clap. That's great to see. I'm excited about seeing some positive things.
My point is though, Mark, is are we missing the fall market too? We're
But
not seeing a huge influx of listings like we did last September. We're
yeah,
not.
but then we also got to see when we go through the numbers, and the breakdown, we're not seeing, we're still going to see a lot of inventory in certain ranges when we go through them. How much of that inventory is dead? Every time I'm looking at a listing and one that jumps out on Osprey Ridge, I just before you hopped on, they've been listed since September at 1,099,000. Cancel release 3 times, I believe. Now they're down to 1,065,000. That's dead. That's a dead inventory.
Yeah,
It's
my point is though that we're not seeing an influx of new. There's a lot of inventory still there at 976, but they're old.
they're old, but I agree. It's old dead inventory sitting there. But you know, we got to look at the climate that we're in the economic times that we're in. Is it good for people to make a move? Some makes sense, others it doesn't.
I got buyers now pulling the trigger.
Well, sure. I mean, we're always going to see some business being done. We're just if we compare it to previous years, it's pretty dismal.
Well, it is. It is.
So, you know what? Let's just see what the end result is for October, November. Hopefully, we see some things, but the inventory is still high. It's up 15% over last year. That's a big number.
Yes.
Massive number.
Now, another thing that's positive, kind of, because last year, our year to date, like last year, they say was the worst in 25 years. So, but I mean, I guess we still have to look at the positive. Our year to date was 1713, and we're now at 1558. So it's 9% difference.
Because of the 8% pop, right? So the year-to-date number is going to come down,
Yeah,
right?
but we've been on a trajectory of like 14% lower, 15, 17, 15, 14. Then we saw 11%. Now we're at 9. We're getting closer to last year's numbers. Like I don't know if we're going to hit it by December. It would
I
be a
don't think we
bloody
will.
miracle.
Be a miracle. And this is, you know what I mean? We look around in this marketplace, right? It's a tough climate to do business in today for a seller and a buyer, right? Buyers want the best price. Buyers are patient. Buyers are pricing in. I believe they are pricing in. Well, this is what we're willing to pay right now, and we don't know where it's going, and we don't know where it's going.
Mark, you know what I'm seeing now though? And I looked at the sales like all week. I've been watching the solds. People are taking less.
They are taking less. One on Bloom. Glad you brought that up. One on Bloom. Nice looking property off of Cummings. 930, I think 939 or 935, one or the other. 35 days in the market, firmed up today, 890. Okay. That's what the market is for that property that day.
Yeah, I've been watching and I'm like, something like 6 or 7 months ago, you'd think, oh, they would have never took it.
No,
They
no.
are now.
Some are. So are we seeing a change in the mindset of sellers?
That's why I
Maybe.
wanted, you know what?
Maybe.
That's why I wanted to bring it up because I kind of have a feeling, or my gut is telling me from what looking at the numbers are, like I just got an offer accepted last night that I never thought they would accept,
Right.
and they did. You got one.
Got one done this morning, and
Same
my client,
thing.
you know what? More she thought about it, and I said, go talk to some family members about it, get their thoughts on it. I gave her my spiel on where I think it was, and I told her I would have taken their other offer last week. I bet. I mean, now they came back with an increase of 5K. Hey, you did okay, but I think it was a right move. We're coming into November
Well,
soon.
this is what I wanted you to bring up is now we're getting in a point of the year that if you don't sell it soon, you're holding it all winter and you're plowing it and you're maintaining it.
Yep. You're paying for it. You're doing everything. So, there's a lot of that. And like I said, people are starting more. People are starting to accept the market for what it is today. They have to detach themselves from what my neighbor got in 21 or 22.
Or even in January, for God's sake.
Right. Even like when we look at comparables, I'm not looking 60 days, 90 days. I like to find something in 2 weeks. to get the
you know,
accurate picture of what it is. Sometimes that's hard to do with the dismal sales, but my belief is hey, if you got an offer, work the crap out of it. If it's not pure expectations, you better think twice because we don't know what the new year is going to bring. A buddy of mine I talked to before hopping on here, Gary, he was there, did the Royal LePage kickoff thing this morning, and there were some guest speakers from RBC Bank, and they don't expect good things for next year.
I
Not
know.
at all. Not at all. So we've been seeing more of that news creeping into that noise is creeping in about that. So, you
And
know,
people are like, okay, like if I don't take this now,
you could get less.
you could, yeah, I could even get less in 3 or 4 months.
You get less. That happened to me 12 years ago on a client. I listed the property in Easter weekend. Showing buyers out. I brought the buyer into the property. Great, would like to put an offer, and it was again the property's a lot cheaper back then, um, and it was really close to asking, if not asking. Anyway, the seller said no. I said, why don't you think about it? Because I think it's a good offer, and maybe you're not ready to make that decision right now, but why don't you sleep on it? And I'll call you tomorrow. Okay, call tomorrow. I haven't changed my mind. Okay, we took the buyer. We got a deal done somewhere else. Property sat for another 90 days. Got $22,000 less.
Mark, how
Ah,
about how about your girl that got offered 1.3 and wouldn't sell?
yeah, I know. That one stung. You
A-
can't be cocky. You
And
got
what did she end up getting? Like 2, 3 years later, she ended up.
930. Like, take that and run any day.
I remember that, and me and you were both like, "What is she thinking?"
Yep. Okay. And I don't I give them our job is to negotiate an offer for them, make sure to keep them out of danger, fiduciary duties, you name it, we do it.
Inform them of the
Oh,
market.
what the market is doing.
Yeah, educate them.
If they don't want it, then that's up to them. Then I can still, and then I go, you know what? I did my job. I fulfilled my obligations to a client, and I gave them the best advice uh, today. They
They
don't take,
at the end of the day, they're making the final decision.
they always do. That's up to them, right?
Yeah.
And we live and breathe this every day. So to us, it's like combing our hair. But for a seller to, accept something a little bit lower today, sometimes it takes a little while for that to sink in and really go, maybe he's right. I got more costs involved. I got to keep the property longer. I have to maintain it. Oh, winter's coming, a big change in the weather today, from July weather, basically we've had for the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's just, hey, this market's not a market to play around in today and
No, and like
controlling it.
we can only tell you what's happening right now. We
Yep.
can't guarantee anything in the future.
Mm-mm.
Like, I mean, it's happened to me both ways, where in the spring it went to hell and they thank God they sold it. And then I've had it where the spring went crazy and they were pissed off that they sold it.
It's
I could have got 50,000 more if I would have waited. But I
right.
mean, we don't know, Mark.
It's a wash because if they're getting something less, they're buying something. It really doesn't matter when you sell or
I
buy.
know, but you know what? You and I right now have buyers or sellers, sorry, that are not buying.
No, I have a few. I do. I have two that are not. Yeah,
Me too.
right.
They're not buying.
They're not buying.
So, it actually I have three right. Yeah, my three listings. Actually, my one in Innisfil just firmed today. But the other, all three of my listings that I'm working right now, none of them are buying.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So it's not like a vertical or a
no,
horizontal. You know what I mean? Horizontal thing. It's not.
no, no, no. And yeah, and then you look at the younger buyer that's been sitting in home for 3 or 4 years that maybe needs to trade up due to a new addition to the family that maybe it was just not in the great equity position from when they bought. Maybe that happened. They're not trading up. Then when bought in 21, 22, he's not going to take a bath.
No, no.
So they'll
So
tough
do
it
you
up.
want to see the breakdown?
Yeah, let's go through the breakdown and give the audience the numbers and where the inventory is and what's selling, what's not selling.
Okay.
It's not
Five to 600. Last year, 10 sales. This year, 23.
okay. So can you do you Dan, do you have the from the previous month? I would love to see if do you know what that range what did last in August by chance?
Mm-hmm. 24.
20 did 24 last month for August 25?
Yeah. August, right there.
Okay.
24.
Okay. 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 All right.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. I had to go back. So there was 23, but last year there was only 10.
Yep.
And there's actually 61 actives. But we need to talk about that. So if there's 50%, 7% higher. But Mark, last year between 5 and 6, there was like barely nothing.
Right, right. And but you know what? In saying that though, that range last month was up 63% in
Yes.
that range, in the low 5 to 6 range.
Well, we're up 57% this year,
Right.
this month.
So obviously there's been some good value for people to enter the marketplace in the 5 to 6 range in Barrie. Back to back things. And
Yes.
it's getting competitive. We're seeing in this range, the sellers are really reacting quicker than anybody else.
Yeah. So my friend's daughter, I was telling you last week, bought in this range and they were only approved up to 600 or whatever. Um, and she said every single offer they put in, they ended up in multiples and they kept losing.
It happens. It
So
happens.
this range can be far more competitive than once you get up into the higher ranges. In the higher ranges, you're grooving normally.
Affordability is eroding. The affordability for the higher ranges is taking a beating for the last couple of years. It's now we're seeing some people that are saying, "No, I'm ready to pull the pin now. Prices have come down in my range," and it's that first. And I believe it's a lot is that first time buyer range and
Yeah,
what it's doing.
I agree.
Right. So when we
Those,
look at the 61 active, um,
that's still quite a bit.
it is 37%. Um, sorry. Let me make sure I got this right. 37% is selling, right? 62% isn't selling.
But that's
So is it the right category of house? We see a lot of activity in that 5 to 6 range in Letitia Heights. I've been talking about it for months.
yes,
Most that seller up there gets it. They get it.
they do.
Get some good value up there for 600K today.
Yeah, you can.
So
6 to 7, 47 sales last year, 43.
I think that last month it was up 12%. Again, the same range. So we're seeing the lower ranges getting more. I don't think you have the percents, do you? I don't think you do.
No, but there was 40 sales.
Okay.
There was 40 last month and we're up to 47 this month.
Okay. Look at the inventory range too, though,
141 is crazy.
right? Like that's a big number, right?
Yeah.
33% selling, right? 67% isn't selling. So a lot of inventory. And so when we say we had we did have a pop in transactions, but it's coming from these two categories, price range.
Well, yes, Mark. As we keep going, you're going to see the
Erodes
problem
if it's
here.
less, but I'm shocked the 7, 8 range. But the look at the amount of inventory, right? There's still a lot of inventory. So that buyer pools just hasn't really expanded that much, I don't think. In
No.
the lower ranges, it sure has.
Well, Mark, the 7 to 8 is our highest inventory number.
Yeah, yeah,
191. We had 45 sales. We had 39 last year, 13% increase. Last month in that category, we had 29.
right.
So from 29 last month, it went to 45 this month.
Yeah, yeah,
13% increase over last year.
yeah.
But damn, there's 191
There you
listings.
go. 24% selling. 76% is not. And
Oh,
these numbers you got to pay attention to. So when we go and we know, it's hard to get a deal done today, but we're still seeing some sellers in la la land.
yes.
We are. You can't call it anything nice
No.
other than they're stupid in a way, right? Because we see the same product. If it's not going to sell, just take it off. If you're not willing to accept what the market is today, take the sign down.
Yeah,
It's not
I
hard.
agree.
It's not hard.
Yeah.
But no, no. And I had a comment on mine. Comment. I don't know if I mentioned last video on one of my videos. Oh, you're so negative. You put so much fear in everybody, and everyone realtors like you are saying all bad things. Does that chart lie?
No.
That chart doesn't lie. It's not bad. I'm just the guy vocal about it.
Well, no, it's funny because I told you I had to comment, oh, my weekly dose of negativity.
Well,
Well,
you
I
can't shoot
mean,
for it.
but we are, listen, there was some positives. It went up a little bit.
Transactions are got two back-to-back months. Yeah. Inventory scares me still. The lower ranges is getting a bit of traction. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Like
It's
we have a little bit of positives here, but
right.
the market overall, like, still isn't good. But, and I
No.
mean, I think we have to be honest. We can sit here and blow smoke, but
Oh, there's no bullshit.
well, then
That-
what's the point?
There's no point. You
No
come to
point.
the channel because we're going through things and we're being upfront with them. You don't come to the channel and say, "Oh, you know what? It's a great time to sell. It's a great time to buy."
Yeah.
Some ranges, yeah, I'll say it is a great time to buy if I'm comparing it to 2 or 3 years ago. But if we get the hard question, Mark, is it better? Do I wait? Do I buy now or do I wait? Ooh, that changes the answer.
I don't even know what to say. You know what I
It's a
say?
tough one
Well, I tell them this. We know that it's low right now because it is. The prices have gone down.
for
I don't
sure.
know how long it's going to stay there, and I don't know if it's going to go any lower. But if you're in it for the next 5, 10 years in the long haul, I think you're safer regardless. But if you're trying to flip something or sell it in 6 months, I don't know.
Everybody wants to feel they're getting a deal. So that buyer, that new buyer or any buyer today
Yeah.
wants to feel that they're winning. If
Yes.
that means waiting a little bit longer, hence what's not selling, that tells me they're waiting.
Yes.
Let's be honest.
Yes.
We're
So
seeing the
eight to
traction.
nine mark, 26 sales last year, 35 were down 26%.
Yeah.
And 114 active. You want to know how many sold in that category last month? I got to jump over to another screen. Hold on.
Dan, is there a way to keep that calendar, excuse me, from month over month of, I know you're doing great here, but the percentage, if we could keep that, is that possible?
Well, not really. I don't know. I'd have to add new columns somewhere.
Or even copy and paste it before you delete it and paste it in.
No, that's what I do over here. So,
Okay.
like last year or last month, 8 to 9,
Yeah.
there was 23 sales.
Yeah.
This month, 26.
Mhm.
So they were up by 3, but last year was 35.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I have buyers looking for a bigger home. We can't find I can find them. Don't get me wrong. We're in this range. There's 143 of them. But most of them are so overpriced or the wrong layouts,
Oh, there's 114 and 8 to 9.
right? So
So what percentage is in selling?
77. But it's hard for the right mix sometimes too of inventory
I
at
know.
that price.
9 to a million, 81 active, only 9 sales, 15 last month or last year, 40% drop.
It's huge. It's 10% selling, 90%
And
selling.
last year or last month, it was 9 as well.
Yeah. It's a tough one.
90% not selling, right?
That that's something to take note of. It's hard. It is very hard in these ranges to sell a property in that high range of 9 and a million and over.
Well,
Extreme.
see, this is what I want to point out too. So over a million, 143 listings, only 11 sales,
Yeah. Oh God. Single digit.
17 last year. We're down 35%. Last month we only had 12.
Yeah.
My
8%
issue my
selling.
issue here is look at the higher ranges. Minus 26, minus 40, minus 35.
Oh yes.
Our increase is coming definitely in the lower, and in the higher, we're going the opposite direction.
Sellers need to take note. 92% isn't selling, 8% is. And there's a ton of inventory. And I have buyers looking in this range, and be patient. The prices are stupid. They're just absolutely berserk. We looked at one on the Queensway, trying forever to sell it. It was so poorly done and put together. It was a mess. They took it down. No, they changed strategies. We couldn't get it. I forget what the price was. We couldn't get 1,000,001 and change for it. But let's take it down to 899
And
and let's
hold
offer
offers.
offers. I wouldn't give 899 for it. Like it just was presentation was terrible. Like we know that it is worth more than 99 to most people, but to me it wasn't. But they're not getting 1,000,000 for that house. They're just not. It's not worth 1,000,000. It's not worth 1,000,000. And buyers aren't stupid.
How long were they withholding? I find some are
Oh,
withholding
I
right
can't
now
think.
for like 2, 3
Yeah,
weeks.
I'm saying how stupidness. Just you're just turning buyers are so done with that, Dan. They don't want nothing. They're so done. They're, they're done.
I know.
When the agent pulls it up, go, hey, you know what? Why are we going to see this? Because you know what? They've been listed for 5 months now, all different strategies, and now they're trying this the last kick at the can. No, like let's just skip it because it's not even worth 1,000,000. So let's not even go.
Yeah.
That's what
And
I
we
say.
know they're not taking 899 anyway.
We know that. So why go? So why go?
Yeah.
Poor workmanship, poor layout, you name it. Like just money to be spent inside it. So kind of anyway,
Listen,
like
the positives here is we are up a bit.
yeah, 2 months in a row.
Inventory's staying level. Sales year
I don't know
over
about level.
year.
We got a
Yeah.
lot of it.
Well, we didn't go up or down. We're at the exact same.
Gotcha.
And year to year, year to date, we're almost like we're 9% off. At least on the upward swing. It's a little bit better, but we're only really selling in the low price ranges though.
Well, why? Right? I'm thinking some of the market is understarted. Some of the people are starting to understand this. Some of the buyers have, going, okay, prices have come down a bit. Okay, now is maybe the time to take it seriously.
Yeah.
Let's go home shopping. Yes, they have.
Yeah.
Yes, the Bank of Canada dropped the rate. That didn't really do much, but maybe to that buyer going, hey, you know what? That improves my affordability. Okay, maybe I'll take a variable product because I still think it's going to go down. Okay.
And people that were approved between the 5 and the 6 could not buy couldn't buy anything for the last couple of years, and
Right.
now they can.
Now they can. Mhm. And that look at the surges back to back. Don't erase that data because we want to keep that one for next. I really want to keep an eye on that range. Just you've got to copy paste it in an email and say, hey, by the
Yeah,
way,
yeah.
right this because it's kind of interesting. We're seeing a trend happening here. We're not seeing it anywhere else. We're
No.
seeing the same in lower and higher ranges. It just keeps going on a slope,
Yeah.
right? Inventory, single digit selling, you know, 90% isn't selling, 80% isn't selling, 76 isn't selling like that. Those are big numbers. And we in those and there's a ton of them on the marketplace.
I know.
So it's tough. But anyway,
There is some positives to take out of it, even
yeah,
though
there is.
if you
There is.
have $1 million house, it's still crappy.
Good luck selling it.
Okay.
All right. See ya.
See ya.